have a potential game of the year as the Los Angeles Chargers are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is your Week 14 2024 prediction and preview video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Also hit the like button. This is not the first time these two teams have faced each other. They faced each other earlier in the season, so we'll talk a little bit about that game. But let's start with the home team, the Kansas City Chiefs. They continue to win close games, but at the end of the day, they continue to win. They defeated the Las Vegas Raiders last Friday, 19-17. On the day, Patrick Mahomes looked very good. He was 26 of 46, 306 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 0 interceptions. He got sacked 5 times. In the last 3 games, Patrick Mahomes has been beat up a lot. Got beat up a lot by the Carolina Panthers and by the Las Vegas Raiders. And these are not premier teams in the NFL. They have a tackle problem right now at the left and right tackle positions, respectfully. Their interior of their offensive line is their strong unit. With Joe Thuney, he's one of the best guards that you can have in the NFL. You look at Creed Humphrey, one of the best centers. Trey Smith, very good right guard. They have the key interior offensive lineman. It's the outside players, and that does bother me in this matchup because they're going against Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and also Thule, who is a very good player in his own right. They can get after the quarterback. So the first key to victory in this game is to get the football out of Patrick Mahomes' hand as quick as possible. Isaiah Pacheco was able to return last week for the first time in many months since he hurt his leg. 7 carries, 44 rushing yards. You look at Kareem Hunt, 7 carries, 15 rushing yards. Kareem Hunt is more so the sledgehammer back. On 3rd and 1 and fourth down situations when it's short yardage, you can give Kareem Hunt the football. They're still ramping Isaiah Pacheco up, but I believe he will get more carries and more opportunities in this matchup against the Chargers. He's going to be a key piece to use against those linebackers of the Chargers. The Chargers defense right now is the complete defense. They're one of the best defensive units in the NFL. They have a strong front 7, and they're very good on the back end with those key pieces. One thing to take note of: the last time Patrick Mahomes went against the Chargers, Derwin James was not able to play. He was suspended. He's going to play in this matchup. Pay attention to him. He's one of those in-box safeties that can also play over the top. When you look at this Chargers defense, they like to run 3 safeties at times. And when they take a safety out the field, they're going out there and they're not stacking up the box still. They still have a light box, but they're trying to get after your quarterback. They may go out there and rustle confusion against the offensive line or send pressure off the right side. And I don't expect for the Chargers to go out there and blitz much in this matchup. When I look at the Kansas City Chiefs, you have key weapons. You have DeAndre Hopkins, who has looked like a #1 wide receiver since joining the team. 4 catches, 90 receiving yards last week. He did have 1 major drop across the middle of the field. Travis Kelce, 7 catches, 68 receiving yards. Noah Gray, 4 catches, 58 receiving yards. He's been a key piece in this offense all season long. And they have Xavier Worthy, 5 catches, 54 receiving yards. When I look at Xavier Worthy, he's the one wide receiver that had the major play against the Chargers the last time these two teams went against each other. He had 3 catches, 73 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown. You have to feed Travis Kelce. You have to feed Xavier Worthy and DeAndre Hopkins. And DeAndre Hopkins was not on the Kansas City Chiefs when these two teams first faced each other. This was the game that Rashee Rice went out of with a knee injury, where Patrick Mahomes threw the interception. He was trying to take out a Chargers player, and it was friendly fire. You have to take care of the football, take care of Patrick Mahomes. Over the last couple of weeks, Patrick Mahomes has done a great job of taking care of the football, but it's going to come down to the offensive line protection, and can they do enough to find creases against this tough Chargers defense? You don't want to come into this game and have the miscues like how you have been in the last few weeks against teams like the Carolina Panthers and the Las Vegas Raiders, because this Chargers team, they can go out there, they can give you a lot of problems, and they can potentially beat you. The Kansas City Chiefs have to stop shooting themselves in the foot. They're playing too fast on the offensive end. Catch the football and execute. And the tackles, they have to be better in this matchup. Andy Reid is slid protection. They've done everything. They're chip blocking. At the end of the day, Jawan Taylor at the right tackle position, he's going to have to step up in this matchup. He's going to have to play better. When I look at the left tackle position with Wanya Morris, he can be a very good player in the future. He's going to have to step up in this matchup. It's going to come down to the protection. If they can't protect Patrick Mahomes, it's going to be a long day for the Kansas City Chiefs. And with that being said, they had the veteranship. You have amazing head coach Andy Reid, one of the best quarterbacks the NFL has ever seen. They're still going to have a shot to win this game, even if the offensive line protection is subpar in this matchup. But run the football, get the football out of Patrick Mahomes' hands as fast as possible and take those deep shots down the field with Xavier Worthy. The Chargers, they are aggressive. They are a very aggressive front, and they're a very aggressive defense. Speed can beat them on the back end, and we saw that with the Baltimore Ravens. Try to go out there and run the football as much as possible to help out Patrick Mahomes and dink and dunk your way down the field and be methodical with your passes, similar to what Tom Brady used to do against teams. And Patrick Mahomes has done that a lot since they traded Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. When I look at the defense for the Kansas City Chiefs, last season, they're phenomenal. This season, they're still good, but they're having a tough time getting to the quarterback on a consistent basis. But you have Chris Jones, you have George Karlaftis. Chris Jones is going to be the X factor in this matchup. He had a great game last week against the Las Vegas Raiders. And this game against Justin Herbert, you have to get pressure through the middle of the offensive line. Justin Herbert was sacked 5 times last week against the Atlanta Falcons. And the weakest spot right now with the offensive line, with the Chargers, is not the tackle position. You have Joe Alt. You also have Rashawn Slater, 2 very good tackles. It's the interior of the offensive line. They may double team Chris Jones, but that means George Karlaftis is going to be in one-on-one situations. And Charles Omenihu, who had 7.5 sacks last season, was a key figure in the NFL playoffs until he got injured the game before they faced off against the Baltimore Ravens before he tore his ACL. I expect for him to get a lot of looks in this matchup. He's a very good athletic defensive lineman, and I think that he can go back there and he can put a lot of pressure on Justin Herbert. I look at Drew Tranquill. Solid linebacker they have. I look at Nick Bolton. The thing is this with the Chiefs, they do a very good job of stopping the run. You obviously want to do that in this matchup because the Chargers right now, they love to run the football. And there is no J.K. Dobbins in this matchup. He got injured against the Ravens, and he's a long ways away before he's going to play again this season. Go out there, stop the run, and take away Ladd McConkey. I would even double team Ladd McConkey if you have to. Ladd McConkey was the leading wide receiver the last time these two teams faced each other, and he's been the leading wide receiver in the last few games with the Chargers. Quentin Johnston is a very good player when he can catch the football. I'm not saying go out there and forget about him because he's shown potential this season that he can get behind cornerbacks. But I look at a guy like Trent McDuffie. You may put him on Ladd McConkey, and you may just put roll coverage on a guy like Quentin Johnston and just pay attention to Joshua Palmer. Make these wide receivers beat you deep and make them go across your face. Now, I look at a guy like Quentin Johnston. He can beat you with his speed. It's just his hands. Put him into tight situations. Tight man coverage is what Steve Spagnuolo loves to run, and he's the defensive coordinator right now with the Kansas City Chiefs. But besides Trent McDuffie, they're having a lot of problems in that secondary. But this can be solved if you can put enough pressure on Justin Herbert and stop that run game. The Kansas City Chiefs cannot come out here and play the Chargers and play them close, because if you do, you're going to be in trouble. Now, let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers. They're coming off a great win against the Atlanta Falcons. This was also a tough win for the Chargers. Just like how last week was a tough win for the Chiefs, they beat the Atlanta Falcons 17-13. Justin Herbert, 16-23, 147 passing yards. That was it. 0 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He got sacked 5 times. Gus Edwards was the leading running back because J.K. Dobbins is out. 32 rushing yards. He averaged 5 yards a carry. They only gave him 6 rushes on the day. Ladd McConkey continues to be the number 1 wide receiver. 9 catches, 117 receiving yards. He was the only guy to go out there and give them good production. Quentin Johnston, 2 catches, 12 receiving yards. Joshua Palmer, 1 catch, 11 receiving yards. They came out with a clear game plan against the Falcons. We're going to play through our defense and hope for the best with Justin Herbert in the offensive line. And this matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs, you're not going to get into a shootout situation because the defense with the Chargers is so good. And the defense with the Chiefs, they match up very well with the Chargers. You have to find a way to scheme receivers open besides Ladd McConkey. He was a leading wide receiver against the Cincinnati Bengals. He was a leading wide receiver against the Baltimore Ravens. Quentin Johnston has to step up. Target him early with screen passes, even if it only goes for 2 to 3 yards. Get this kid going early. He's going to be a key figure in this matchup because if his confidence is not there, you might as well just take him out the game. He had so many major drops with the Baltimore Ravens, and you can see his confidence basically just snowball from that point on. Get him the football early. Make it a point to just get the football in his hands and jet sweep situations. Just get this kid the football. Ladd McConkey's going to go out there. He's going to do his thing. Obviously, the Chargers, they want to run the football, but I'm worried about that in this matchup. The Chiefs, even though their defense has not been the same from last season, they've done a great job of stopping the run. And the last time these two teams went off against each other, the Chiefs defense did enough to defeat them 17-10. Now, for context here, Justin Herbert had a sprained ankle at that time. He's 100% healthy. And J.K. Dobbins was able to play, but J.K. Dobbins only had 32 rushing yards off of 14 attempts. That's 2.3 yards a carry. Gus Edwards, 19 yards, 6 attempts. That's 3 yards a carry. They had to get more volume out of the run game. And I know what Charger fans are going to say. Not only was Justin Herbert dealing with a sprained ankle, the two top tackles were out with Rashawn Slater and also no Joe Alt. They both got injured against the Steelers the week before. So in this particular matchup, it's going to come down to offensive line protection. Justin Herbert got sacked 5 times. I would go out there and double team Chris Jones, give him different looks up front, and get the football out quick. Run some play action bootlegs against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're vulnerable on the back end. That's why I'm harping on saying Quentin Johnson has to step up. The same with Joshua Palmer. Joshua Palmer had a big play against the Ravens, but Justin Herbert missed them. You have to cash in on those opportunities. When you face this Kansas City Chiefs team, you have to be perfect. You can't go out there and have missed field goals. You can't go out there and have dumb penalties. Because the Kansas City Chiefs have won 9 games this season by 1 score because they're well coached and they do the little things very well. I look at Coach Harbaugh. He's one of the better coaches in the NFL right now since coming back from college and winning the national championship with Michigan. They have to be a well-oiled machine. Go out there, run the football, play technically sound football, and get into third and short situations. That's when the Chargers are at their best. Not when they're at 3rd and 8, when they're 3rd and 12. When they're 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 2, that's when they're at their best. When they're in between those yards, that's when the Chargers can go out there, dink and dunk their way down the field, run the football. And when it's in 4th down situations, if it's 4th down territory, I wouldn't even run the football. I would actually pass the football because the Chiefs are so good at stuffing the run, especially through the middle of their defense with Chris Jones and those linebackers. If you want to run the football effectively enough, you have to beat them sideline to sideline. Unfortunately for the Chargers, J.K. Dobbins is an explosive running back, not Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards is a guy that's going to go out there. He can push the pile. But he's not going to go out there for this Chargers team in particular and average 5 yards a carry like how he did with the Baltimore Ravens because it was so many things that you had to worry about. I can see the Chiefs coming out and stacking the box and trying to force the wide receivers to beat them. Justin Herbert can make those tight window throws. It's going to come down to the wide receivers. Can they go out there and can they step up? And be on lookout for Will Dissly. It's been 3 to 4 games this season to where he was the leading receiver in the matchup. If Will Dissly can go out there and have a good game, the Chargers have a very good shot of going out there and defeating the Kansas City Chiefs because you really just need one more solid option besides Ladd McConkey to put fear in the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you can run your offense with play action, and then you can motion around and use that run game to your advantage. When I look at the defense for the Los Angeles Chargers, you held Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to 17 points in the first outing. Your quarterback was on a messed up ankle. Your tackles were out. The defense did everything they could. And like I mentioned before, no Derwin James. Last week, they made life hell on Kirk Cousins. He had 4 interceptions in that matchup. Patrick Mahomes this season has not looked like how he has looked in the past. Over the last few games, he's been red hot. Pressure is going to be key with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. The tackle position is the weakest position right now with the Chiefs. The strongest pass rushing position right now with the Chargers, it's not their interior pressure with Poona Ford, even though he's been a very good player this year at stopping the run. It's been those edge rushers, especially Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. And you also have Thule. Those guys can go back there. They can put pressure on the opposing quarterback. They can make you uncomfortable. We saw this when they went against Justin Fields and the Steelers. The pressure was on him early on in that matchup. They put the pressure on Kirk Cousins last week. They force you to get into uncomfortable situations. We could talk about the fact that they're rookie corners right now, and that can bother you against a veteran quarterback like Patrick Mahomes and a veteran head coach in Andy Reid. But these rookie cornerbacks, they went out there and they performed very well last week. One of the cornerbacks had a pick 6. And I look at Christian Fulton against the Ravens. He did not have his best day, but throughout this entire season, he's been a solid cornerback. I look at Elijah Molden, very good safety, 3 interceptions on the season, 7 pass deflections. You bring in Marcus May. You have Tony Jefferson also. These are veteran players. The reason why they brought some of these players in is because Gilman is on IR right now dealing with a hamstring injury. But you have Derwin James. Derwin James has had some good moments against the Kansas City Chiefs, and you don't have to worry about a dumb head coach and Brandon Staley putting Derwin James in one-on-one situations with Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce's still a very good tight end. He's a possession tight end at this stage of his career. He's not going to go out there and shake and bake against this defense like how he has done in the past. He still has the ability to do so. With that being said, be on lookout for the Kansas City Chiefs with yards after the catch and run after the catch. You have guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, and you may say, hey, Juju's not going to do much. Juju Smith-Schuster had a great game against the New Orleans Saints because they could not tackle in space. You have to make sure your tackling is on point. DeAndre Hopkins is a very good physical wide receiver. This man is one 50-50 pass away from going out there and putting the Kansas City Chiefs in field goal range with their backup kicker. I look at the defense with the Chargers, be aggressive, stop the run game, and be physical. If you give up a splash play here or there, fine. That's okay. I'll look at Jesse Minter, who's been a great defensive coordinator this season. Stick to your script. Don't go away from what you've done in the past. And I look at Patrick Mahomes, be conscientious with the ability to put up a spy. I would not put up a spy every single play. But Patrick Mahomes, when you least suspect it, he will go out there and he will run. And he's not the fastest quarterback in the NFL, but he has sneaky speed. One rush can go for 30 to 40 yards. Like how he did against the Carolina Panthers. He ran him into field goal range. We saw him have a great run in the NFL playoffs many years ago. Patrick Mahomes is one of the best athletes at that quarterback position, and that makes him one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL this year. With that being said, this is going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be physical. I don't expect for both teams to go out there and score over 30 points in this game. The Chiefs have been playing very close to the sun right now. They've been flying very close to the sun. And eventually, when you fly close enough, you're going to get burned. And I look at the Chargers, even with Brandon Staley, they have been in close battles with the Chiefs so many years now, over and over again. The Chargers are on the road. They have everything going against them because Quentin Johnson right now, he's dealing with a confidence issue. You don't have your starting running back and J.K. Dobbins. With that being said, I'm picking an upset here. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers. I think the Los Angeles Chargers will finally defeat the Kansas City Chiefs on the road. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers to win this game 23-20. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you have winning this game? The Kansas City Chiefs or the Los Angeles Chargers? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.